Hello, we're editors. It's day 6 and we're at the Royal Albert Hall with the Teenage Cancer Trust.
I think the best thing for me about being a teenager was the freedom. You had your set of mates, you didn't have any sort of troubles like, you know, mortgage. You just worried about where are we going to go on Saturday night, who's coming out, have I got my beer money?
It's kind of that nice between bit of being too little to be allowed to do stuff, but old enough to be a bit naughty. It's a good time.
The best thing was that you got to hang out with your mates. You know,
Discovery.
yeah, absolutely, and do things that you weren't allowed to do or you didn't know about doing when you were sort of 10.
Well, I'm a romantic, and I like the kind of slow-burning romances that you could form at school, you know, like when you're in the classroom or looking across in the games fields and stuff like that, you know, that being at school was such a good scenario to kind of to fall in love.
It's difficult getting that whole thing across to teenagers a lot of times. It's the kind of thing that a lot of people don't necessarily stop and think about.
If bands can be a vehicle for that, and that's very cool.
And it's so awesome that Roger Daltrey's always been so, you know, that's it. It's just, I think it's just a great organisation and it has some great events. And
it's an honour to play as well.
Yeah.
Last week we went to visit the Teenage Cancer Trust ward at University Hospital, wasn't it, in London. And to be able to do that, to be able to sort of connect what we're doing in a big rock show at the Royal Albert Hall, which is a brand new experience for us, and to connect that to such a worthwhile cause was one of the most special things about being in a band.
These people that have hit a point in their lives where they really need help, they've been diagnosed with cancer and they need this specific help. They're not children, they're not adults. This charity comes into that gap and helps them out.
It was an amazing feeling to see the amazing work that the people do there and the effect they have on people's lives that are going through what I can only imagine to be a very terrible time. So yeah, it was an inspiring trip, not just a sad trip.
We came out with a spring in our step, you know, and you wouldn't necessarily think that that's how you'd feel after a visit like that, but it certainly was. Puts a bit more energy into you.
It's so hard-hitting and moving knowing that these teenagers' lives through cancer and through being helped by Teenage Cancer Trust and it being made better and more bearable from them, it's just really inspiring, and you think, I've got to get involved with that, I've got to help with that.
One thing I didn't understand was how complicated treating cancer is in teenagers, because the bodies are changing, the actual treatments are very complicated and lots isn't known, and you know, so there's so much work to be done and it's ongoing, so the work they do is invaluable.